to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the sincere apostles and elders of a great millstone who are my teachers. All right, and peace and salutations to you brothers out there preaching this word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Yahweh Shai with another lesson. All right, and today, man, as you see from the title, just going to be going into learning the fear of Yahweh. All right, and the reasoning why I believe it's important for all of us as the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, or North American Indians, to learn the fear of the Heavenly Father, man, because hey, we see through many examples in the scriptures of why our people were destroyed because they didn't fear the Heavenly Father, man. And once you start fearing the Heavenly Father, once you start reading, man, you start going into depth of the fear of the Heavenly Father. Hey, well then now you know, and then all these things will start being revealed unto you, man. And so, Yahweh Razah, this lesson is edifying, uplifting of the spirit. And I'm going to start off with the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. And it says, My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yeah, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding. And how do you do that? Hey, well, you pray. All right, you pray unto the Heavenly Father Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai. And so it says, continuing in verse 4, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of Hadawan Yahweh and find the knowledge of Yahweh. So it takes that seeking, man. It takes doing your diligence, man. It takes your reading and going into the scriptures, man, diving into it. All right, and getting to know the Heavenly Father, like brothers like to say, on a personal level, man. Not just saying it, but doing it as well. You can't just be a hearer of the word, but you got to be a doer as well. All right, and so from here, I want to jump to the book of Deuteronomy. All right, because this was especially important whenever the Heavenly Father was given the law, statutes, and commandments unto the children of Israel. He was giving them reasons why it's important that they learn the fear of the Heavenly Father. All right, and so this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and I'm going to jump down to verse. I'm going to start at verse 5. And so it says, Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my God commanded me that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. And that's right, because the Heavenly Father gave us the instructions to life, how to take care of the land, how to take care of the people, all right, how to take care of everything upon the planet Earth, man. The Heavenly Father gave us those laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And so it says, verse 6, Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. And you see our people now, man, without the Heavenly Father, they're just a bunch of, just to put it blatantly, man, just a bunch of dumbasses, man. You look at what they're doing. They're chasing money. They're chasing the bag. They're willing to give up everything for it, man. They're losing women. They're losing cars. They're losing their life, man. And it's not just for money. They do that for women. They do that for everything but the Heavenly Father. And we see how destroyed our people have become, man. They're getting gunned down in the streets, man. You read throughout history how our people, hey, the Heavenly Father allowed these different nations to invade Jerusalem, to invade Judah, all right, and to take us captive, man. And now, thousands of years later, we're here in Babylon, man. Seeing our people do the same acts, and this time they're not even aware that they're serving different gods, man. And so because our people have abandoned the Heavenly Father's laws, statutes, and commandments, because they didn't fear the Most High, now we're in a fucked up predicament. And excuse my French. And so, reading that again, Deuteronomy 4 and 6, it says, Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. And that's right. And at one point in time, under King Solomon, they the Heavenly Father had it to where these different nations were coming in, and they were seeing our people. They were decked out with gold, sapphire stones, with emeralds, all manner of precious stones. And they were like, man, is this the king? But it turned out to just be the servant. The specific account I'm talking about is Queen Sheba. And so when they seen this happen, hey, they're like, man, this is, hey, surely the Most High is with y'all, as it should be, right? because we are the chosen people. And so continuing in verse 7, it says, for what nation is there so great, who hath Yahweh so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for. That's right. No other nations has Yahweh on their side, man. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah on their side. Popular to contrary belief, the Heavenly Father didn't send his son Yahweh Shai down to die for everybody, but for the nation of Israel, once again being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. All right, and so it says, verse 8, and what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous, all this law which I set before you this day? And no other nation has that, man, because if they did, hey, well, they wouldn't be crumbling, man, the way that we see everything falling apart right now. All right, if they obeyed the law, statutes, and commandments, if this was truly a God-fearing country, hey, it wouldn't be to the point of collapse, man. And so it says in verse 9, and it reads, it's like it says, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. And that's right. This knowledge, this understanding, the law, statutes, commandments that the Heavenly Father has given us is supposed to last from generation to generation, man. It's supposed to be going on for a while, and because it didn't, well, now we're seeing the world in a messed up state, man. It's get completely collapsing all across the world, man. you know and so it says in verse 10, especially the day that thou stoodest before Yahweh thy power in Horeb, when Yahweh said unto me, gather me the people to get together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they should live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And that's right. So ultimately, in order to gain knowledge, understanding, in order to gain wisdom, hey, you have to learn to fear the Heavenly Father first, man. Because if you don't, hey, well then guess what? You're gonna end up falling. Hey, you're gonna end up being destroyed, man. And that's what we see happening right now before our eyes, man. And it don't matter if people don't believe or not. The evidence is right before our eyes. All right. And so from here, man, I'm gonna jump to the book of Sirach. Hey, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 11. Hey, y'all people are crazy, man. Hey, so the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 11, it says, the fear of Yahweh is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. And that's right. When you fear the Heavenly Father, hey, it's honor, man. And people make fun of people who fear the Heavenly Father, who follow after the law, statutes, and commandments. Hey, but really, these people are the ones that are losing, man. All right, and so it says, continuing in verse 11, it says, the fear of Yahweh is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of Yahweh maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. And that's right, because when you fear the Heavenly Father, well, now hey, well, I gotta abstain from evil, man. I gotta abstain from certain acts like thievery, adultery. I gotta abstain from murdering people. Hey, I gotta abstain from all these things, man. So you're fearing the judgment from the Heavenly Father. And so it says in verse 13, whoso feareth Yahweh, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. And that's right. So not even just speaking about, the normal death, but even whenever this place finally collapses, and we get raised up, hey, that's going to be the time that we are truly blessed, man, when the Heavenly Father raises us up, man. you know and this is a nationality, man. This isn't a religion or nothing like that. you know And so, continuing it, it says in verse 14, it says, "To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb." That's right. So even to have the fear of the Heavenly Father, it's given unto you since the womb. Like in the book of Jeremiah, it tells you that I knew you from the womb. Roughly paraphrasing, but when before you're even created, the Heavenly Father already has your whole life mapped out, man. So this is really a gift, like it says in the book of First Timothy, which I'll go ahead and grab before I grab my last two precepts. This is the book of First Timothy, chapter 4, and verse I'm gonna start at verse 11. These things command and teach, and that's why we put up these epistles, man. This is why we go out in the highways and hedges. We preach unto the people. And so it says in verse 12, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity." So you can't just walk the walk, but you got to talk it as well. And so it says, so it says, continuing it in verse 13, it says, "Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine." And that's why you got to read, you got to study. And so it says in verse 14, "Neglect not the gift that is in thee," which that gift is what? The gift of faith. And it says, "Which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery." So, this was given to us by prophecy. This was already predestined. YAHAWAH, we're not only called, but we're chosen. And it says, verse 15, "Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee." That's right. So when you read this word, if the Most High is dealing with you truly, well then you'll be given that spirit to go out and teach, man. You'll be given that spirit to help others learn the fear of the Heavenly Father, man, because that's what it's all about. Because once you start fearing the Heavenly Father and you start reading, well then it moves you to do some type of good, man. Like, okay, I can't be if you were a thief, I can't be a thief no more. I got to stop stealing, and I got to start changing my ways, or the Heavenly Father will bring down judgment. He'll bring down His wrath upon me, man. And it'll come in ways that you don't ever expect it to be, man. It'll come in a way to where you think you're all good, and then you just got some brand new tires on your car. And then your car pops, and then boom, you're going 80 miles per hour. Car flips, and then the Most High removes your life, man. And these are things. You could be sleeping on the sidewalk or near a forest, and an alligator come up and eat you, man. This is actually real life. Things like that have actually happened. There was a polar bear that over there in Alaska. There was a polar bear that came and mauled a mom and her child, man. I think this happened like either last year, maybe 2 years ago. But the Most High will send certain things like that too. Oh, just recently there was this bear that came up to a woman and her husband or her boyfriend, whatever he was, and the bear just came up and dragged it. I believe this happened in Russia, but he went and grabbed the girl and dragged her, and then they ended up down some cliff. And it said that what had happened to her was pretty much it was inhumane or something like that. Like they couldn't even describe it because of what happened to her. So the Most High, He will send things like that your way if you don't learn to fear Him, man. And people will laugh and mock and scoff, but they're the ones really that are the fools, man. Like it tells you in Romans 3:3, "For so what if some did not believe?" All right, and so from here I want to jump to the book of Psalms. All right, it's gonna be chapter 103. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 103, and I'm gonna start at verse 17. And so it says, well, actually, I'm gonna start at verse I'm gonna start at verse 13. And so it says, "Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear Him. For He knoweth our frame; He remembereth that we are dust." And that's right. That's why it's important that none of us are prideful in any way, man. Because we're all dust. We all came from the earth. We were all created by the Heavenly Father, man. And so it says in verse 15, as for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourisheth. For the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more. That's right. Hey, we're real fragile, man. Hey, we can die from falling off a 20-foot roof. We fall off. Hey, boom. We can die. Hey, we're real fragile, just like flowers and like the grass. And so it says, continuing it in verse 17, but the mercy of Yahweh is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children. And that's right. So the Heavenly Father will not only extend that mercy unto you once you learn that fear, and he'll extend it unto your children as long as you teach them that fear of the Heavenly Father as well. And the problem with our people, man, is that our people, our forefathers, didn't teach each other the fear of the Heavenly Father, but instead they started serving different idols, serving different gods, man. They started serving gods like false gods like Baalim, Dagon, the fish god, man. The Queen of Heaven, all types of different gods that our people started serving, that these heathens were serving. And then the Most High, he did what? He plucked us up out of the land, man. The same thing that he did to the heathens. Why? Because our people were acting like heathens. But as we read in the book of Deuteronomy, the Most High, he put us on high. You know, and so continuing in verse 19, it says, Yahweh hath prepared his throne. Oh, Salakia, continuing it, Psalms 103 and verse 18, it says, to such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them. The Yahweh hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. And that's right. So the Heavenly Father prepared his thrones in heaven, and his kingdom ruleth over all. So eventually, once the kingdom is established, everyone's going to be bowing down to the Heavenly Father, man. Whether they agree or not. You know. And so from here, I wanted to end it off in the book of Jeremiah, man. All right, because when you read the book of Jeremiah, there was a reason why he was called the weeping prophet, because which he wasn't the only prophet that seen, a whole bunch of destruction unto his people, but he was pretty much like in the midst of it, man. And the Heavenly Father was having him really, really be austere towards these people, and they were wanting to take his life. Same thing that they did as to the previous prophets before him, and to those that were after him. And so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 2. And it says, hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. That's right. And during this time, you had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Those were the three main tribes that were dwelling in the city of Judah and city of King David, and so what. But this is really talking to all of our people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. And so it says, verse 3, and say thou unto them, thus saith Yahweh, power of Israel, cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant. And that's right. That's exactly what happened, man. Our people were cursed. Till this day, you have our people that are getting gunned down in the streets, getting arrested, being put in prison for long amounts of time, man, being painted as a face of wickedness. And so the Most High really truly did curse us. And so it says in verse 4, with which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice and do them according to all which I command you, so shall ye be my people, and I will be your power, that I may perform the oath which I have sworn to your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, so be it, O Lord, O Adawan. And that's right. So eventually, and Shalom Malak Yahawah Bashim Al Shabrakatah. And so eventually the Heavenly Father, he told our people, look, if you don't obey, if you don't do these things that we're telling you to do, that I'm telling you to do, and that I'm sending my prophets out to do, to warn you of, well, then I'm going to pluck you out of the land. And our people, instead of learning to fear the Heavenly Father, they instead started cursing out Jeremiah. They were communing in private, and the Most High was showing them this. They were communing in private to put him to death, man, to find a way to put him to death. The same thing that they did to Yahawashi the Messiah, the same thing that they did to all the prophets, man. they were looking to put these men to death because they were coming out speaking the truth, and they were giving a warning like, look, all this evil is happening to you because you don't fear the Lord, man. You're not teaching your children to stop serving these different gods, and instead, hey, you're teaching them to serve the Queen of Heaven, man. You're teaching them to serve Baal Lim. You're setting up, you're closing the doors of the Heavenly Father's house, and you're what's it called, uh teaching them to be in wickedness. And so ultimately the Heavenly Father, he did what? Hey, he removed us. And it tells you in Jeremiah 17:4, hey, we shall discontinue from our inheritance. And that's exactly what happened. But now through the grace, the power, and the mercy of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai, we have a way back. But it takes what? It takes learning that fear of the Heavenly Father in order to proceed to follow after his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. So with that being said, hey, I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, continue in the fear of the Heavenly Father, because as we read in the book of Sirach, hey, it's an honor to have that fear. It's a gift that the Heavenly Father has bestowed upon us, man. Neglect not that gift. And so, yeah, man, I hope this lesson was edifying, uplifting of the spirit. Until the next time I say, Shalom. Hey, I see him, bro, but it ain't no big deal. I was out here to teach the elect, teach the remnant of Israel, all the rest of these people. Hey, the Most High is gonna deal with them, and so hey, shalom.